Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Strategy Game Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Shippey, and today we're continuing our series on words. And this series of words came to me over the course of several months, and I'm excited to share it with you or continue to share it with you because these words have meant so much to me, and I hope that they encourage you to keep going and keep walking in whatever your calling or your purpose is for your life. And that's in regards to your business or your movement or nonprofit, and also just in your family and in your friendships and wherever you are in your life. So this one is called You Did Not Come This Far to Turn Around. And I love that so much because sometimes we can get to the point where we think that we've gone as far as we can possibly go, and we have nothing left in us. We feel exhausted. We've exhausted ourselves by running on the hamster wheel of life. And we talk a lot about this at Storywork, how we really want to help equip people to be game changers, not just outperformers. Outperformers go as far as they can on their own strength. They run on the hamster wheel of life and they don't get off, and they think that success will come if they just strive and if they just work hard enough. But we want to equip people instead to be game changers. It's a new way of operating. It's an operation that really lays aside striving, and it focuses on reflection first before action. So it's pulling back and looking at the journey so far, where you are on that journey, and realizing where you're going so that you can be intentional and methodical and strategic about how you move forward, because how you move forward matters. So let me finish the word. You didn't come this far to turn around. You have not gone the wrong way. Stop questioning yourself. You are here for a specific purpose. Stay consistent. So the second line we've talked about, you didn't come this far to turn around. You have not gone the wrong way. So I think a lot of times we can start to think that we've gone the wrong way when we don't get the outcomes that we were envisioning, that when our expectations or assumptions that we've made about what success might look like haven't occurred. They haven't occurred yet, or they just haven't come in the form that we were seeking them. And so I think that this is a great reminder that when you hear something or you know that you are supposed to do something, you just can't stop. You can't stop. You have to remind yourself that you didn't come this far to turn around, that you're on the journey, that you're not going to give up, and you're not going to question yourself. You're not going to question the message that you so clearly heard, the purpose that you so clearly believe that you're on this earth to do. And even though it may look different than you thought, you haven't gone the wrong way. So if you're in that place right now, I would just encourage you to pull back for a minute and ask yourself, did I have certain expectations or assumptions of what I thought this road would look like? Chances are you do. We all do. I do this. I have a specific way in my mind, which I think that something is going to occur, or how this outcome is going to come, or how this thing is going to play out. And usually it doesn't look like what I thought it would at all. And usually it's actually not about the things that I thought it would be about at all. So I would just encourage you, this is another thing that we do at Storywork, is just really help leaders and people dig underneath the surface to say, hey, here's what's going on the surface level. Here's that outcome that you want. Here's what you're looking toward. Here's what you're working toward. Whether it's acquiring a company, or whether it's starting a nonprofit, or writing a book, or producing a podcast, or making a certain connection, or growth in your family, X, Y, and Z, right? Chances are that once you start to go in that direction and you start to move in that direction, you're going to feel and sense resistance. That is a part of the journey, and getting used to that resistance is essential to continuing along the path. So if you start to give up at any moment, what can happen is you deviate from the path that really is your course, that is your purpose. You have to stay on the path. And if you've gotten off the course, it's okay, because you can always get back on. You can always get back on. I just picture it as this, this like path that you're walking down, and you've got like, you come to these intersections all the time, and you've got a couple different ways you can go. And when you're too tired, you think like, oh, I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to make a loop, right? Because I think I've gone the wrong way. Like, I don't see anything happening here. I don't see any growth. I don't see like the outcome that I was picturing. And you start to question yourself, and doubt creeps in. And doubt is another enemy of purpose, because when we start to doubt what we've heard or what we know to be true about our purpose or our calling or our next action steps, then we turn around. And what happens? We never make it. We never make it down the path that's set out for us. So the next line, this really makes sense. You are here for a specific purpose. Stay consistent. So specific is before purpose. And that means that there's not another one of me and there's not another one of you. And how I'm going to do things is going to be very different than how you're going to do things in your life. And that is wonderful. That is the total point of us being human beings on this planet, is that each one of us is going to be different. Each calling is going to be different. How we're going to respond to people is going to be different. And all of those voices, perspectives, purposes are needed. And if we start to question or doubt ourselves, or we turn around too early, then we don't reach it. We don't reach where we're going to go. There's no shame in this. I also want to say, we can become trapped in shame and guilt if you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh, I've done this over and over again. I failed so much. Like, I'm a failure. I'm not doing this right. I've gotten off the road. I've taken all these detours. I've been lazy. I've shut down. I've ignored my purpose or calling that I've heard for years. It's not too late. So I definitely just want to say, I want to remind you, it's not too late. You can always get back on track, right? Every day is a new day. And so you have a chance every single day. And the key to operating, part of the key in your specific purpose, is staying consistent. So I just want to encourage you in this episode. I've said encourage a lot, but I do feel like this episode is key to not moving off your course. Do not be moved. I feel like that's really important. Don't be moved. Don't be swayed. Don't let other voices drown out your voice. Listen for what you are supposed to do next, your calling, your purpose, and then lay out those specific steps, even if they don't make sense to you right now, and keep going. You have not gone the wrong way. Stop questioning yourself. So if you enjoy this episode, give us a review. That always helps. And check out storywork.co for more.